You don't feel love, happy,
No,
joy,
I feel like
anger?
you should be quiet because you're talking out of your neck because you don't know what you're talking about. I have
Go
something to say. I
ahead.
was what I need to say. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am the distinguished professor, and this is the TDP podcast. Hey, as you guys can tell from the opening video, I'm going to talk about the recent panel I was on. But before we get started, I want to thank you guys all for being here and rocking with me. But without further ado, class is in session. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Again, welcome back. As you guys can see, what we're going to be reacting to is the panel I was on GMT, the Grown Men Talking panel. It's a wonderful panel. I'm on it every week, Sundays at 5 o'clock, so definitely tune into that. We have various guests from time to time that come on and speak. And for us, the main thing, because we're not like the regular black pill, red pill, that manosphere trope that's going out there. A lot of times we like to present the issues in the dating market, especially in the black community, the dating market. And then we talk about it. We talk about the pros, the cons, but at the end, we try to always come together and have a solution. We don't always agree, but we always try to come together with a solution. But I want to show you guys something. So I'll show you what happened, and then I'll show you what Scary did on her podcast, which sort of took me aback.
Yo, Professor. We barely heard from Professor today. Yo.
Yeah, we have not.
Who you over there texting?
Right.
So then she starts off. Who you over there texting? First of all, you ain't my chick. It don't matter who I'm texting. So I get it. I know she's being playful. That's cool. But here's my response to what GMT was saying.
Professor ended our video.
Everybody else is speaking, so I'll just let y'all rock with it today. And that was it. If you watch the show, everyone else spoke. I had some ideas and some things, some thoughts I wanted to get out there. But because I'm a man, I let other people speak, and then I speak when I have a chance to, or I want to overtalk somebody. That's not something we do. We let somebody finish their stream of thought, and then we go in and say something. But in this particular podcast, I've never had any issues saying anything. This particular podcast, I just let them rock. I sat back, listened to what the conversation was going, and let them rock. That's what I did. That's all I did. And then I answered this question. But everyone else took that. Everyone else understood that. Everyone else was okay with the answer. But one person. Let's see what she had to say.
Emotions, honey. That's emotion.
I need you to just jump up and say
I got no emotions. He asked me a question. I answered it. So I don't know what you're talking about.
But you feel like everybody else is speaking.
I don't feel anything. Just so you know, men do not speak out of feelings. Men do not speak out of emotion. Men say what they need to say, and that is it. They don't feel anything. They think what they have to say. They think about the situation, and then they respond to it. But this is what I was saying. Anything. I told you exactly what I had to say.
Y'all are spicy today.
I just don't like when people try to tell me what I feel like or what's going on. I told you exactly what I need to say. If I had something else to say, I would have said it. I know how to speak for myself.
Oh,
Me
Lord.
too.
That's a feeling.
Right, because I'm one like,
Feeling spicy.
I'm not feeling any type of way. I'm just telling you.
You don't feel anything right now? You don't feel love, happy, joy,
I feel like
anger?
you should be quiet because you're talking out of your neck because you don't know what you're talking about. I have something to say. I was what I need to say.
Oh my God!
Because you keep trying to tell me what I feel, and I don't feel anything. So
I said, whoa. I said, how do you feel, Black King? I said, how do you feel?
Did any of y'all hear her say that? Did any of you guys hear her say, "How do you feel, Black King"? No.
You feel love? Do you feel joy? I just said, how do you feel? Do you feel love? Do you feel joy? But
I could be wrong, but we can rewind and see if that's what she said. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and rewind. Let's go back.
And
I got no emotions. He asked me a question. I answered it, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But you feel like everybody else is speaking.
I don't feel anything. I told you exactly what I had to say.
Y'all are spicy today.
I just don't like when people try to tell me what I feel like or what's going on. I told you exactly what I need to say. If I had something else to say, I would have said it. I know how to speak for myself.
Oh,
Me
Lord.
too.
That's a feeling.
Right, because I'm one like,
feeling spicy.
I'm not feeling any type of way. I'm just telling you.
You don't feel anything right now? You don't feel love, happy, joy,
I feel like
anger?
you should be quiet because you're talking out of your neck because you don't know what you're talking about. I have something to say. I was what I need to say.
Oh my God!
Because you keep trying to tell me what I feel, and I don't feel anything. So
I said, whoa. I said, how do you feel, Black King? I said, how do you feel? Do you feel love? Do you feel joy? I just said, how do you feel? Do you feel love? Do you feel joy? But
Next topic, please. That's what happened. That's what took place. So that, as you guys can see, that's what took place. That's the conversation that was had. I wasn't disrespectful in any way. I said what I needed to say. After she kept saying, I said, I feel like you should be quiet or stop talking. I didn't tell her to shut up, shut the F up, shut the F up, B. I didn't disrespect her in any way, shape, or form. I just said what I had to say. And what she fails to realize is that men say what they need to say. We don't speak out of emotions. We don't speak out of feelings. We say exactly what we have to say, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, like I always say, the door works both ways. You don't have to be here. But you can tell that the man in her life has never checked her like that before, because if she had been checked like that, first of all, she would have never risen up to say anything. But if she had been checked, she would have known to had back down and not said anything else, and that would have been it. But because she hasn't been checked before, because she's, this is what she is. This is that hyena mentality that a lot of these women have. This is what ended up taking place. But let's see what she had to say in regards to that.
The conversation, like, do Black men really compare themselves to Black women? Look at some of these panels. I was on a panel 2 days ago, and I was just talking and having a good old time, and I made a jovial comment about, he talking from emotions.
Now again, look at the video. Was she talking out of a jovial moment? And you see, she had to start again what she was saying. She said, I made a comment. And then she stopped herself. I made a jovial comment. No, say what you meant to say. You meant to say what you had to say. That was not being jovial. You said what you needed to say. But watch what she said on her podcast.
Because we were talking about people talking from emotions. And this big Black man.
So let me get this straight. I disagree with a woman calmly and respectfully. And all of a sudden, I'm just some big Black guy.
And this big Black man.
So first of all, we weren't talking about emotions. The topic of the conversation, the topic of that show was, do Black women need protection? But yet, do Black women need protection? No, Black men do. Because you see what she just said? She just said this big Black man. See, this is exactly how Black men get labeled, targeted, and put in harm's way just by existing in a space where we're not bowing down. See, this is why this is so dangerous. Let's talk about history. Black men have been labeled scary, dangerous, threatening since Emmett Till. What did Emmett Till do? He whistled at a lady, supposedly. And what did they get him? Since Central Park Karen, he looked suspicious. And we all know what happens next.
Because I was told they're coming. After 2 hours, I quickly called back the non-emergency line.
This big Black man
Started coming up and harassing me, physically pushing me.
I did not physically push her. She stole my card, and I wanted it back. I did not touch her. I have witnesses.
I said, when I was on the phone, I started trying to keep walking away, wait for you guys, and she kept following me.
After witnesses say she falsely claimed for
the gentleman who is taller than me pushed me off of his property.
He had pushed her. The video Narinda shot has been viewed more than 1 million times.
This big Black man
Who pushed me 10 feet? Sounds like you didn't do that. No, because they're saying he didn't.
I didn't put my hands on you, woman.
This big Black man came for me.
And this big Black man
and called police, referring several times to being threatened by, quote,
this big Black man.
There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
Though Cooper does not appear to move any closer to the woman, her call becomes even more frantic.
I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Cooper says he kept on recording because he had no intention of being in.
So as a woman, as a Black woman who's all about, I love Black this and Black that and Black whatever, and gets on a guy on a panel who's married to a white woman and wonder why he's married to a white woman, guess what? You just did the exact same thing a white woman would have done. You labeled me a big Black man, and it was all boisterous and monstrous about it, when I didn't do any of those things at all. Yet I have to come here and explain myself like a lot of other Black men in similar situations. And thank God we're not in a domestic situation, because I probably would have went to jail because you would have called me a big Black man. So for her to say and come out that way, It's flabbergasting. It's disgusting. It's irreprehensible. But yet she wants black women to listen to her. Hey, what up, though? It's your favorite professor. Office hours are always open. Jokes are always free. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the fastest growing classroom on YouTube. We're blowing up like the group project the night before it's due. But for real, this show does not happen without you. So subscribe, or I might just start handing out pop quizzes. And trust me, they're all essay questions. Let's get it. And there's a reason you let sleeping dogs lie.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
Y'all heard him. When you come at the king, you best not miss. And the reason why?
I'll make you famous.
I'll make you famous. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of this video.
Talking about people talking promotions. And this big black man came at me like, oh, I don't got no emotions. I don't got no emotions. You talking. And it's just like, ew. It's like, really? You big black man coming at a girl because she just said, oh, look at those emotions. Look at those feelings. You're talking with feelings. Did not say it in a denigrating way. Did not say.
Big black man coming at a girl. Again, words mean things. You can tell she's been schooled by the white women of the world. They've done a good job with her.
Say it in a demasculating way, but you was obviously in your feelings if you had to come to me with the big chest. Now, if another man was on the panel and he said something that you didn't like, I bet you wouldn't say nothing to him. So at the end of the day, we talk about tradition.
No, because another man knows better. And anytime I've had a disagreement with a man on the show, on a panel, we've had casual conversations. I've been on multiple panels, many panels I've been on, especially doing the presidential season, the presidential race, and we didn't always agree, but we respectfully disagreed. But the thing is, she should not have said anything to begin with. Should have left it there. She should. When I said everyone else was speaking, so I let you guys rock with it. It should have stayed there, and we should have just moved on. But yet, this hyena, this woman, had to interject herself. Young lady, you need to know your place. I'm not saying women didn't know their place, but when someone's not speaking to you, it may be good not to say anything. Let's continue.
Those traditional values, we talk about men and women, play your role, because at the end of the day, if any man, I want to be in a space and an environment that if a man come at a woman in a way that's like to the left, I want every black man on that panel to be like, hold up, bro, protect black women, hold up, bro.
She's actually to protect black women, but are you protecting black men? Are you protecting black men? You're not. You are not protecting black men. So why don't you go back to listen to what you just said at the end there and do it for men. But I know you don't respect men. I know you don't respect your fiance who you're engaged to. You want to know why? Because you talked about this on a panel. Matter of fact, listen, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's pull up the clip. Receipts matter.
So to have the thought process of they've been there and having a hard time letting it go, think about how much you'll lose if you don't.
But he doesn't have any. He
says he does not right now.
He doesn't have any.
He says he does not right now because he does not want to lose you. So he's
just to catch you guys up, in this episode, this panel discussion where she was on, we're talking about work husbands, and then we got into the conversation where we're talking about having male friends while you're in a relationship or a marriage. So should females have male friends and should males have female friends if they're in a committed relationship or if they're in a marriage? Personally, I said this on the panel, I don't believe that men should have opposite sex friends if they're in a committed relationship or they're married. Now you can have acquaintances, associates. Like I have a friend who's a real estate agent. I have an associate that's a real estate agent. So if someone I'm dating, which I've done before, is selling that property, I'm going to turn them to that person. Because one thing about a good man and a high value man, they're useful to the group, and they're able to use the group as well. So I have a group full of people that or like a Rolodex, if you guys remember what that was. I have a Rolodex of people that I can always turn to based upon the needs that somebody may have. So while there's certain things about a car I may not be able to do, but I know where I can take the car. And guess what I'll do? I may not be able to do it, but I take your car, you take my car, and I'll go get it done. I don't need you to go get a work husband to do all that stuff for you. If you're hungry, I'll take care of it. I'll send you food, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a man does. At the end of the day, I'll send you Cash App. I'll DoorDash you something. Whatever it is, that's what a man does. But you don't need another man for that. And I don't need another female for that. You shouldn't want another female bringing me dinner or lunch to work. You should feel territorial about who you're dating. So as a woman, you should not want another woman doing things like that for me. You should not want another woman while I'm at work, well, you shouldn't be doing this anyway, massaging my back. You shouldn't want me having another woman bring me home if I don't have a car for some reason. You shouldn't be with that dude anyway, but that is what it is. But that's what we're talking about. Let's continue this one.
Accepting some things that he's telling himself, I'm going to accept as long as she. Right. Both of you are somewhat ignorant or choosing to ignore the fact that problems happen in a relationship and you're introducing other problems.
And if tomorrow, hold on, if tomorrow, at any point he comes to you and says, hey, I have a problem with this, are you going to
absolutely.
I still don't believe if you need
absolutely. Absolutely. If my husband came to me, not my fiance, but if my husband came to me,
no. Y'all heard that, right? Let me go back.
If my husband came to me, not my fiance, not my fiance.
So you see where she's at in this, right? So she said, my husband, not my fiance. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so she's gonna choose her friends over the person she's dating. Now, again, this what happens is when you have a man in your life that you do not respect, and Chill's going to get to this, but I'll let you guys watch it at some point down the road. Chill's going to get to this. If you're with the man you respect, and that man said, I don't want you to have male friends, you're going to respect his wishes and not have male friends. It just period, point blank. So what Candace was saying and what Ashley was going to say, they're both saying, no, I'm cutting my friends off. She, on the other hand, is not cutting her friends off. But at the end of the day, she's like, nah, not my fiance. So this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. And you want us to be with you. You want us to date you, but yet you can't even get rid of your friends. You got a good man, but you can't get rid of your friends. This is the conversation that we're having in these spaces, that women, for whatever reason, can't. Because men, I guarantee you can give up a female friend. Now, men may cheat on you, but cheating is still relative. But men can give up their friends. If a woman said, hey, matter of fact, I know this because there's men out there who have a whole live child, and that woman says, I don't want you to be with that mother. I don't want you going around that mother. I don't want that child in my house. And it happens. You know how I know it happens? Because it's happened to NBA players that I know, and it's happened to regular Joes that I know. Where the woman said, I don't want that woman in my house. I don't want that child in my house. I don't want nothing to do with that kid. And a dude had respect. The dude sneaking out the house to go see his kid because the woman he married or the woman he was with didn't want nothing to do with him. Those are simpish dudes. Those dudes that shouldn't be in those relationships. And that's why Kevin Samuel said that just because you have a lot of money doesn't make you high value, because those men, like I said, I knew NBA players who went through this stuff, and I know regular Joes who went through this stuff. And at the end of the day, look at what's going on. But that's the kind of woman she is. But I want to dive a little bit into what she said on her podcast. We'll give her a little credit. Like I said, I'll make you famous. Dive a little bit into it to see what she said. And I'm going to break down some things that I very much so disagree with. And isn't it ironic that a lot of times when women want to make a point, they'll find a man that's LGBTQ plus? You know why? Because he's just like a woman. He thinks like a woman. He's in his emotions. I have friends and family members who are LGBT plus, LGBTQ plus. I have friends and family members that are. So this is no way, shape, or form talking poorly about them. I'm just saying they, generally speaking, will have that same mindset as a woman, which is why when Black women get in these communities and get in these Black spaces and get in these groups, they get poor and bad information. A lot of times they get it from their mother, and a lot of times they get it from their single friends. Girl, you shouldn't be with him. Yeah, I did that. Girl, you shouldn't be with him. At the end of the day, they're single, and they want you to be single with them. Your mother couldn't get along with your father, and she wants you to be single. You know why? So she can compete for the same man that you want to compete for. Your mother wants to be in a club just like you want to be in a club. She want to get that 26, 27, 30-year-old dude that you're trying to holler at as well. He's trying to holler at you as well. Baby, I know my daughter can't cook like that. Come on over here. Can you come fix my stuff? Can you put I had Daryl come over and fix my smoke detector. and mama ain't got no clothes on. They got no bra on, no drawers on, and some day zooks. You know, your mama not looking like this.
Miss Parker finer than a motherfucker.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Hi, boys. When you gonna let me fuck, Miss Parker?
What'd you say, honey?
We all know Miss Parker. We all got one. somebody know Miss Parker. So they compete for that same man. Well, again, let's dive deep into what she had to say, and then we'll get out of here, man. I'm trying to cut this short for y'all.
At least I knew that shit was getting scary when I started to watch Black men comparing themselves to women. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of this sassy and zesty conversation because there's a lot of zest sitting over here. So I ain't got call it for what it is. A lot of zest and sass over here. But I would never try to put me in the same sentence as a woman. And I was scrolling through my phone the other day and I saw a man talking to a woman. He said, "Look at you and look at me. Do you think that you're worth me?" Is what he said to her.
Whoa.
And I said, oh gosh, shit is getting scary. Where you think that you should be in competition with a woman. And I think what a lot of that has to do with, and why I bring up that jealousy part, is because women have made strides when technically they were supposed to be behind. We lived in a day in society where that woman wouldn't have been allowed to vote, but she would have been. Still, you sit your ass at home when it came time. We live in a society where we all could not get an education. Now we do. A Black woman is highly more educated than a Black man can ever be. We live in a society where men statistically are supposed to be making more money, including that Black man, but she makes 10 times more than you. I think the dichotomy is you showed up not being man enough, and she's being every bit of the man that you were supposed to be. And now you can sit in front of baby girl face to face and say, what are you bringing to the table? When I thought the niggas were supposed to build it.
Damn. Now let's talk about this clip.
So you see this nonsense, right? You see this nonsense, right? This gentleman said, oh, gentleman, male, female, I don't know what he goes by, but this person said that Black women are more highly educated than Black men would ever be. That is funny. But just FYI, women of every race have more college degrees, go to college more than men of that race. The reason being because there are men who work early, go to factory jobs, work labor jobs, while women are not. Women need to be more skilled so that they're not working these same hard manual labor jobs. Are there women that do that? Yes. There are women that do manual labor jobs. Women are getting into construction and they're outside. They're not in the office, they're outside. But generally speaking, those men are going to work in factories, going to work manual labor jobs, while women needed an education, needed to acquire or procure skills to be viable, to be hired. Because they didn't have those skills. Yes, well, the thing is, they said women weren't allowed to go to college. Women did go to college. I believe the oldest Black women's college in the United States is Spelman. And ironically, Spelman named after Rockefeller's wife. But yeah, Spelman was founded in 1881. 1881, Spelman was founded. So women have been getting education, and that is a women's college. So let's not talk about women just getting the opportunity to go to school, because that's a farce. Now let's go to the other trope that's in the Black community. He's talking about men need to come with the table. They should have built the table or whatever, and women out earn men. Well, that's not true. The data doesn't say that. Black men still out earn Black women. Don't believe me? I'm not even gonna do the research because someone's already done it. I'm gonna go to my good brother, Medium Man. Check him out, great brother, and let him show you what the salaries look like.
Usual weekly earnings of wage and salary workers news release, 18 January 2024. And this is from 2023 fourth quarter earnings. Among the major race and ethnicity groups, the 2023 fourth quarter median annual earnings were Asian men were at the top at 90,000, Asian women 71,000, white men $69,000 annually. White women, $55,000 annually. Black men, $55,000 annually. Black women, $50,470.
Again, this is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, fourth quarter 2023. For those of you guys that don't know, that's the last 3 months of the year, fourth quarter. They showed what it looked like. And I'm looking at it. 5 does come before 6. So black men, $55,570, or an additional $61 per week. So women that can't get along with men, hey, imagine next year's $61. You know, imagine being able to work with a man. 55 and 50 is 105,000. And in this case, it's 106 and change. I think it's 106.40. And I'll show you something else. I live in the Queen City, not Cincinnati, but they did a study, and I'll see if I can pull it up. They did a study that said to live comfortably as a single person in Charlotte, North Carolina, it takes $92,612. And again, I'm gonna let Media Man continue to rock, but I'm gonna show you that as well. So again, Bureau of Labor Statistics does not agree with what you guys saying. I don't care about your anecdotes. I don't care about that you guys know this and this girl makes 100, this girl's make 300. Don't care. This is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It shows you exactly what people are making. And then they'll come with the trope, well, you can't trust numbers because you don't know where the numbers come from. Well, you're right. Maybe I don't know where the numbers come from, but you're arguing from no point because you have no numbers. You're just using anecdotes. So I've dated 2 women that make $100,000. I still made more than them. So at the end of the day, as a black man, I made more than those black women. And they made 6 figures. Ooh, double, 2x what these figures say. Let's continue, Media Man.
Hispanic men, $50,120. Hispanic women, $43,880. Black.
The funny part is every other race of people on this list have no issues getting together, have no issues co-mingling, have no issues co-mingling the funds. It's only black men and black women that from what we hear, refuse to co-mingle. I'm not going 50-50. But Maria is. She's going 50-50 with Juan. Becky is. She's going 50-50 with Michael. Mei Ling is. She's going 50-50 with Jet Li. I don't know. Chow Young Fat. Don't know. But she's going 50-50 with him. How many times have you guys gone to a Cleaners, and this is going to be a stereotypical Cleaners or a Chinese food store, and have not seen a woman working in there? Please put a 1 in the comments and let me know. Put a 2 in the comments if every time you go to a Cleaners or a Chinese food store, there's a woman there. I guarantee you, every place I've ever gone, Chinese food store, alteration store, there's usually a woman there. And she's usually an Asian woman. Guess what? Women work and they put their money together, 50-50. This is how they build that wealth. This is how they're able to do things. Because that $92,612 in Charlotte, if we work together, it's $100,000 together. Now we're $8,000 above what the median income is to live comfortably. The median household income in Charlotte is $78,000. Now we're living way above that $100,000 median income. So you do the math. You can continue to do things by yourself, or you can figure out a way to work together. And the more she keeps speaking, the more women are speaking like her, the further apart we're going to get. But let's continue, Media Man.
Black men are number 5. Black women are right behind them on number 6. And this is 2023 fourth quarter. Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Usual weekly earnings of wage and salary workers, fourth quarter 2024.
So this is the latest, 2024, fourth quarter 2024. This is the latest numbers. So let's see what they say.
I just told you guys that black men were number 5. Black women were right under them at number 6. Among the major race and ethnicity groups, the 2024 fourth quarter median annual earnings Asian men, 87,000. Asian women, 71,000. White men, 68,000. And look at what we have here.
Looks like black men have done what black women have told us to do for years, and we've leveled the fuck up. We've leveled up. Look at this. Matter of fact, white women went down, and they went down to number 5. And whose space did they take? Black women's space. I wonder where black women are on this, but black men definitely leveled up. Don't trust the numbers? Show me yours.
Here, black men in the fourth quarter of 2024 earned $58,136. And black men earned $1,118 for every quarter weekly, then we would earn $58,000. I just put the approximates up there just to give y'all an example of where we stand, okay? Higher than white women. This is the first time that black men have ever out-earned white men or white women. Black men for the fourth quarter in 2024 increased their earnings to finally out-earn white women. So that puts us for that quarter in the number 4 position. And remember, like I said, last year, fourth quarter, we were number 5. So black men are increasing their annual income moving into 2025.
The amazing thing is we're increasing our income with less education. So black women are more highly educated, according to this gentleman. Not this gentleman, but the gentleman in the previous video. But yet, ironically, black men are earning more money than white women and black women. Go figure. With less education. Oh, damn. So by golly, gee willikers, look at this. We are bringing the table. We are building the table. But guess what? The women of this age don't know how to properly set the table. There's an issue. If you know how to properly set a table, then we wouldn't have any issues. But guess what? They want to bring their own stuff. And what I mean, their own stuff, they want to bring little baby tables to the conversation. So we make the table, but then y'all want to bring these little baby tables from 2 different carpenters and expect us to take those little tables in. Y'all, we value in our community having a child, being pregnant, being a mother before we value being a wife. We all know that Becky in college that everybody ran through. She slept with the whole football team, the basketball team, the soccer team, the cricket team, damn near the chess team. She slept with all of them. But you know what she didn't do? She didn't get pregnant. She graduated college. She moved to a different state and married the best man that she could get. Now, you can't bring that man back to her college. You may not be able to bring that man back to her hometown without people snickering behind that dude's back. But you know what she didn't do? She didn't have a child. She went into that marriage childless. But yet black women in our community expect us to accept the child that they had with another man. That's crazy. In our community, we don't do shaming anymore. There's no accountability anymore. And then they're going to say, well, what about the man? The man should have covered up. The man should have did this. If a child is born, it is the woman's responsibility. Because unlike men, y'all have a right that we don't. You have the right to delete a child. We do not. So guess what? You have more rights than we do. So if a child is born, that is on the woman. Now, responsibility, yes, lies equally with 2 people. It lies equally with both of us. But at the end of the day, there's contraceptive, there's pills, there's all kinds of things you can do to not have that child. So you chose to bring a child into this world, and you chose to be a single mother, knowing what the statistics look like. You choose to date men who come to you with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids and don't think it's going to happen to you. What is the greatest predictor of future behavior? Past behavior. Let's continue with the rest of this video.
But I listen, in my experiences, child, with social media and even on a panel I was on recently, there are a lot of hurt Black men out there who are ready to go toe to toe and argue with Black women, even as it's being recorded on panels and on podcasts. And to me, it is really diabolical.
What's funny about that is she's talking about me again. I wasn't going toe to toe with her. And if she had a real man in her life, when she started doing that yapping, he would act just like this.
Tell that bitch to be cool. Say, bitch, be cool. Be cool, honey. Say, bitch, be cool. Tell that fucking bitch to chill. Be cool, honey. Chill that fucking bitch out. Chill out, honey bunny. Chill. Just chill out, honey bunny. All right, now tell her it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Promise her. I promise. Tell her to chill. Just chill out, honey bunny.
That's what should have happened. And again, y'all saw the clip. I'm trying to be the good guy. I'm trying to respect the panel and not go at her. But this is what I get, for trying to respect the panel. You get hyenas like this. I mean, people like this that got things they need to say. And at the end of the day, she should have known her place. If she just, like I said it before, I was not speaking to her. I was speaking to the man on the panel who had something to say. If the man has something to say, the man will say what he needs to say. This goes back to when you're in relationships and girls like, well, tell me what's wrong. Tell me how you feel. And you tell a woman, I'm fine. And she won't take I'm fine. And then she wants to keep going. And then when you have something to say to her, and then she don't like it. Like, you didn't have to be mean. You have to say that, well, I told you I was fine. You should have shut the fuck up. But you didn't. So now you get what you get. Sorry. So again, going back to what she said, well, what was said on our panel, do Black women need to be protected? No, Black men do. Black men need to be protected because our women don't respect us. Black men love Black women. Matter of fact, they go out of the country to go marry Black women. And I'm not talking about passport bros. I'm talking about Black men that go to the Caribbean, go to Africa, and bring women back to marry. Because they can't find enough suitable Black women to date and then to marry. It is what it is. So don't be upset with the results you get from the work you did not do. Black women are refusing to do the work. This is not me bashing Black women. By all means, this is not me bashing Black women. It's going to sound that way. But as you saw, Black men have put their head down and have leveled up. Black women, you lead in deletions of babies since Roe v. Wade. That's 21 million people that we've gotten rid of. Let's say 33% of that are men. That's more men for me to choose from. I hate when women say, oh, all the good Black men are in jail. There's something I can show you on that, but I'm not going to. But why would a person in jail be a good Black person? Why are you setting the bar so low for us? And then why, after you're having children with random dudes or a random guy, are you then saying there are no good men out there? Why are you having kids with dudes you don't respect, don't care for, don't like? And then we say get back with that person, you make faces like, ew, I would never do that. Why are you having children before you even get married? Why are you engaged, but you have a child with a person? When's the marriage coming? We don't know. But you're going to have your premarital child at your wedding being the ring bearer. Okay, cool. Do that. You say Black men are not marriage minded, but yet there are more Black men married than Black women. Make this make sense. I'm talking about percentage based. How we look at percentages, and there are more Black men married than Black women. Black women, yes, you lead us in education, but you also lead in consumer debt. And a lot of your consumer debt is going to hair care products, strips, buying those houses you can't afford. And then months later, you're going into foreclosure. But you're buying these houses with child support, alimony, government assistance. 1969, 1970s, 1969 is when you guys decided that you did not need the Black man anymore and that you'd rather rely on government assistance. The Moynihan report stated that after Black male employment went up, Black female reliance on government assistance also went up. And Patrick Moynihan could not figure out why we were the only race of people that happened to. Couldn't figure it out. Then from that, you get the rise of, I don't need no man for nothing. I can do bad by myself. There's no romance without finance. Where has that gotten you? It has gotten you exactly where you are now. It has gotten you exactly what you're doing now. For many years, decades, women have said to men, y'all aren't shit. But when men push back and have something to say, you know what? You said we aren't shit, but the numbers say fucking different. We've leveled up. We put our head down. We listened to what you had to say, and we made ourselves better men. What have you done to complement that? Except continue to push along the exact same tropes that other people have pushed along. Push along the exact same things that white people have said about us. The big black man. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that. I would never say this tall hyena of a woman. I would just say this woman I was on the panel with had this to say. But when you want to go down this rabbit hole, when you want to go down this path, it's not going to end well. Because when you look at the numbers, the data, statistics, you can't fight with numbers. I mean, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So continue to bring these same numbers out here that are incorrect, these same anecdotal things you're saying, but when the numbers don't back it up. Black men are doing the damn thing. Black men are going out and making things of themselves. We do have men in our community that we speak to that are not doing what they need to do. They're still being children. They're living in their emotions. They're living in their feelings. Right? They refuse to go get additional skills because I don't want to be too black. I don't want to be too, I don't want to be too white. I don't want to be too this. I don't want to be too that. Refuse to speak properly. When presented with opportunities, sometimes they refuse to take those opportunities that will better themselves. There are men out there that continue to have kids with women they don't care about, don't want to be with. So yeah, those are men out there. Stop dating those men. Stop attracting those men. And if you are attracting them, try something a little different. You're not gonna find the best man in the club. You're not gonna find the best man at a concert. You're not gonna find that best man on a girls' trip. But it's been said, and to say it again, every other race of women goes to college to find a man. Our women go to college to prove they don't need one. How do I know this? I dated a woman who has 2 degrees, master's and an undergrad and a bachelor's, with the 2 prestigious universities. Was always in the library. She said that I was the only black person for the most part in the library. And she said those white women found husbands. I didn't. Now she's 38, 39, and still looking to get married. The time that you're going to be surrounded by the most amount of viable opposite sex people is in college. Because once you hit these streets, it's a different beast. It's a different beast. And if you refuse to build with a man, if you're 24 and he's 24, y'all need to build together. 50-50 works. 50-50 works. I've seen it work in every other community except ours. 50-50 works. But you got to both be on the same page. Men, stop dating these women because they look good. They got a nice ass, nice titties. Stop dating these women. You need a woman with a brain up here that can see your vision. A lot of times y'all don't see the vision. You know, a lot of times, and Dr. Umar said this, y'all don't want the IKEA man. Y'all don't want the man that you have to put together, build together. Y'all want the man ready-made. then I know I'll get the pushback. Well, I was with a man and I built him up and then he left me. You know why? Because he never liked you to begin with. He liked you for the resources you could provide. And when he leveled himself up, he moved the fuck on. So what does that say about you? That means what you had to offer was not good enough for what he wanted or what he needed. Your attitude was not what he wanted in a woman, but he put up with it until he got what he needed and he pushed on. Second story, I know a gentleman moved from Charlotte to Dallas. Couch surfed, got with a young lady, not necessarily his type. Little, maybe she was a little bit overweight. She got him back. She helped him get back on his feet. He got back on his feet. He left her, got with another woman. They're worth 7 figures. He didn't respect her. He didn't want to be with her. But he said the right things. He made the right moves, and he got what he needed until he got what he needed. Women, y'all got to be smarter. This is why you need good men in your life, uncles, cousins, brothers, that can help you vet these men. Men, we got to choose better. We got to stop getting baby mamas who want to leave us and take our kids and we can't see them or use our kids as leverage. That's why you need aunts, sisters, moms that can vet the women you're going to be with. We have to get back to vetting our people because we're not doing it. And I'm not going to continue the rest of the video. I could have, maybe I'll make a second piece to it. We've gone long enough. We've gone long enough. But is this type of rhetoric that's being pushed out there from a woman who says she's for black men, who is coming at a black man who didn't disrespect her in any way, shape, or form, but yet she goes on her own podcast and disrespects me? And the hypocrisy in all of this whole situation, the reason why I'm doing this video is because women are saying, especially in our community, they want a strong black man, and that strong black men are needed, and there are no strong black men left. But when a strong black man opens his mouth and disagrees with something you have to say and respectfully disagrees with something you have to say, he doesn't fit your narrative. So no, you don't want a strong man. You want a man that you can control. You want a controlled man. And any black man who does not fit that script gets labeled a problem, gets labeled big and black, gets labeled scary real quick. That's not going to cut it. That's not how we get better. Again, they didn't disrespect you. I didn't disrespect what you had to say, but I'm not going to allow you to tarnish my name. I'm not going to allow you to put dirt on my name. And while you didn't say my name, it's not very difficult to go back and look at the panel she was talking about. So you're not going to tarnish my name. Period, point blank. It's not going to work. But what you're also not going to do is put on men who like men to talk about men. It's not going to work. So again, just like I said during the panel, I feel like you should stop talking because you're talking outside of your neck and don't know what you're talking about. Class dismissed. So I was going to end it there, but I had to come back and say this. Do you guys think women use that kind of language on purpose to control the narrative? Or is it some sort of subconscious thing where they don't even realize how dangerous their words are? Fellas, when this happens to you, do not stay silent. Stop letting women gaslight you into thinking you're a bad guy for simply having a backbone. So my final question to you guys is this. Do women weaponize fear against black men? Let's talk. But before you go, drop a comment. Let me know if you've ever been called like scary or big black or narcissistic, something of that line that a woman labeled you as. Let me know if you've had that from a woman before. But you're just being a strong black man. You know, you're standing on your ground. You're standing 10 toes. So if you've ever been called that, I would love, drop a comment. Let me hear what's going on. Before you leave, after you drop that comment, don't forget to subscribe because trust me, we're just getting started.
This big black man